Hi, I'm Rachel, and in this video today, I'm going to break down the forearm headstand. Now, there are many benefits to being inverted when your heart is above your head, and in the headstand specifically, we're looking at building more focus and concentration, and we can do that by flipping our perspective and having the heart above the head. This will help to stimulate and send refreshed or re-oxygenated blood to your head, and will also help to build strength and stamina. She wants to be part of this video. Helps to build strength and stamina in your upper body and also in your core as well. But we have to do this in a really safe and effective way. So we're going to start against the wall, breaking it down there, and then we're looking to bring it away from the wall to do it more freestyle in the center of your mat. With all these benefits at the touch of your fingers, let's start to break this down together. So the way that I would teach a headstand now, if I'm teaching a class of students, is actually very different to the way that I used to teach headstand. And that's because over time and with practice and with more research, you have to realize how important that it is to get the headstand right, and it starts with that foundation. So instead of teaching you to place your head on the floor and wrap your hands around your head like this, I'm going to show you a different way to do it. I feel is a much safer way. There are many different ways that you can come into a headstand, but I just feel with this, I'm not putting any kind of pressure on my head at all. I'm not looking to collapse into the cervical spine, the top of the neck here. Instead, my head is going to feel really comfortable and cushioned because there's actually going to be a little gap between my head and that solid structure, the solid surface underneath it. Okay, so let's come into this position then. We're going to start against the wall in just a moment, but I'm just going to describe how to achieve that really strong and really solid structure and the foundation for this headstand. It's incredibly important that we do that to start off with. So I'm going to hold on to opposite shoulders like this, creating a cross position in front of my chest, and then placing the elbows down onto the ground. This ensures that my elbows will stay underneath my shoulders, but that they are correctly positioned from the very beginning. So once I've created that cross, my elbows are down, my hands will now come together into a fist, and I'm going to push that fist down in towards the ground. So the moment that I have the cross, the fist, and I press that fist down, it's coming to look a little bit more like a headstand shape. From here, I'm going to open out my thumbs. I lift both thumbs up. And then also, I really like to open out my pinky fingers. Maybe that works for you too. It's not essential for this, but I feel like it has a little bit more, it creates a little bit more sturdiness to this whole structure, and it gives me a bit more of a surface space to wiggle into whenever I need to. So lifting thumbs upwards, I'm actually going to place the crown of my head onto the arms here, onto the top of my foot, or the side of my forearms actually along here. So the crown of the head now will rest onto the forearms. I'm pressing my thumbs into the back of my head, and I'm really going to press down through the forearms. But essentially, this is the correct position for your headstand just to begin. So practice this to start off with. Make sure that it feels comfortable to be here, that you're not just going to open out your elbows, they're not going to flare out, they're actually going to stay underneath your shoulders. But the crown of the head is not resting on the ground, it's lifted away. Okay, so now we have those foundations in place, let's take this to the wall. So making that shape again with the arms, shoulders directly over the top of your elbows, making that fist with your hands again, lifting the thumbs up, open the pinky fingers out. You want to make this shape as close to the wall as you can, just a little bit of gap between your hands and the actual wall itself, but you want to be as close towards the wall as you can so that you know you can lean into that if you need to. So placing the head, the crown of the head back onto the forearms. Another double check that your elbows, that you can see them, that they're not splayed out wide. Check that they are pretty much underneath your shoulders, and then from here we're going to tuck the toes underneath like a downward dog. So we're making that V shape with the legs, and then we're starting to walk the feet in towards the head, The closer you can get your feet towards your upper body, your arms and your head, the better that it is. If your feet are still way back here, it's a lot harder to try to lift yourself into a headstand. So my top tip is to walk your feet in as close towards your head as you can, so that you're starting already to lift your hips upwards. Pull the navel towards the spine and then starting to tip forwards into the tiptoes as you lift away. So just remember that you have the wall directly behind you. So do try to find that wall as fast as you can. So from here, you can stay as you are, you can extend the legs upwards, you can have a little play around, but when you are ready to come back down again, we're starting to bring one knee in towards the chest, still have the grip with the wall with the other foot, so you know it's still there to help stabilize you. Pressing into the forearms for a little bit more lift, and then just seeing if you can bring the other knee in towards the chest as well, extending one leg out, release it down, and then the other foot comes to meet as well. So bringing everything back down to earth again. I definitely recommend to stay in child's pose as a counter pose for being inverted for around about a minute or two. Because we have been upside down, it takes a little bit of time for your body and your head to readjust again. So definitely take the time to relax here just for a couple of moments to reconnect with your breath again. And then when you feel ready, slowly and gently bringing yourself back up, making sure the head is the last part of you that lifts upwards. So I'd really recommend to practice against the wall for quite a while until you feel confident within yourself and your own ability, and until you can lift both feet off the ground at the same time. There really is no rush to take that headstand from the wall onto your yoga mat, so do take your time with that. But when you do feel ready, let's take it away from the wall onto the yoga mat. I'm going to give you a few more teaching points to help you find a little bit more strength within this posture. So we're coming back into that original shape, like I've already mentioned a few times, holding on to opposite shoulders, making your hands come into a fist and placing that fist down on the ground, lifting the thumbs up, open out the pinky fingers. The crown of your head is pressing into your forearms and your thumbs are wrapping around the back of your head. Okay, so from here, we're going to tuck the toes underneath, making that V-shaped position. Pull your navel towards the spine, because we do definitely need our core strength in this pose. And then starting to walk the feet again in towards you. The moment that you come to this position here, I'd like you to create a little bit more space through the shoulders, through the neck. And you can do that by simply pressing down into the forearms. Make sure your head is comfortable before you think about lifting your feet away. So with the feet in as close in towards the head as they can be, your hips are lifting skyward. We're now just going to bring our weight onto the tiptoes and just see how that feels. Rock forwards and backwards a few times. So remember, we don't want to be pushing off and lifting into headstand in that way. We really want to do it in a safe and controlled manner. So rocking forwards and backwards onto the tiptoes, press down into the forearms. Keep finding space through the neck. You can bring the knees up in towards the chest to start off with, finding your balance here. When you feel strong enough, when you feel stable, have a go at lifting one leg away. Still pressing down strongly into the forearms. Maybe the other leg wants to lift here too. Press upwards with the feet. So you can go ahead and point the toes, making your headstand as tall, as long as you can. The navel is still hugging back in towards the spine. When you're coming down, bring one knee in, bring the other knee in, still pressing into the forearms, hips are staying lifted, extend one leg out to meet the ground, the other leg extends, both feet are now grounded, knees rest down, and then resting back into your child's pose position. And again, as a counter pose, allow the shoulders and spine to round here, the forehead connecting to the earth, Take a moment to reconnect, re-establish that smooth, steady rhythm to your breath. And then when you feel ready, you can lift the head away, sitting back up onto the heels of the feet. And again, just taking a moment here to receive the benefits from the headstand. So thank you for watching this tutorial today. I hope it has helped break the headstand down, starting against the wall, coming away from the wall whenever you feel ready. There are so many benefits to headstand, but it has to be done in a really safe, controlled, effective way. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you very soon.